thought it was.
7.
Hey guys, so I started this morning talking about this thing that I'm going to do for 30 days called, well, it's based on the online phenomenon, I guess, right now, called the Whole 30. I'm doing a version of it, and I'm inviting anyone who wants to join me. I'm starting October 23rd. We're going to cut out anything processed. We're going to have some fun with it. We're going to lose some weight. We're going to get stronger. We're going to rid our body of anything bad. That being said, before then, we're going to eat cookies. So that's just the way it is. Lance, you know, we're all easy here. You can say something out loud.
I'm trying to get their attention and not distract.
Oh, I don't know if they're too distracting. I don't know.
We can actually just have it.
They
We can just video their conversation.
Yeah, what do you guys talk?
You're being so loud.
Bottle it, twist the cap. You gotta top the bottle it, twist the cap.
I can't see when we go that way.
I know, you can.
I forgot my baseball hat.
That being said, before October 23rd, we are going to take great culinary liberties, great nutritional liberties to talk about. Bye, Ellie. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
And have some fun with whatever it is we want to have fun with. Like tomorrow, this woman Aviva's going to come on, and we're basically just going to cook. And that's going to be a meal. Today, like...
She's going to cook up here? We're going to have a barbecue?
I'm not sure yet. We may actually go live down into our apartment. Not by ours, I mean mine and yours. But Stephanie and I get into these big fights because
well, actually,
my
reception
apartment.
there was not great, so...
All right, then we'll
maybe
do it up
let's see if we can barbecue.
Okay, well, we'll
tell
talk.
Aviva
Now seems like a good time to talk about that.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway, that being said, this is Heather Einhorn. Heather, say hi.
Hello.
Heather has the best name in the world because if anyone has ever seen one of the best movies, it's Jim Carrey, Ace Ventura, it's Einhorn, Finkel, Einhorn, Finkel. And it's the reason that I love you being here because you have the greatest last name in the history of the world.
Thank you.
Who else could have such a last name?
It's so funny you should ask because my dad is here. And
you only got it from your dad.
I'm only it's Einhorn's Epic Cookies, but he is Einhorn. I'm just here, you know.
So introduce your dad to me. Tell me why he's sitting between us now.
This is Robert Einhorn.
Hi, Robert.
Can you guys sit a little closer?
Hello.
Yes.
Sit on Robert's lap.
Well, you guys could sit closer.
So I should sit closer?
You sit closer to
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I sit closer to Heather. Okay.
You're so warm now.
So this is Robert Einhorn of Einhorn.
Finkel.
Of Einhorn Finkel. This is what they based the movie on completely. And Heather came up with this great idea a little while back. Based on, remember back in the day, what was the greatest thing in the world that ever happened to you? It was getting a baseball card, but who cares about the card? It was that like dry, stale, ridiculously bland, but yet free stick of concrete gum. Nothing was better. You would take a bite, it would crumble into chips and pieces, but yet go in your mouth and you're like, but I got free gum! I love the gum! So Heather took that great idea because nobody has ever expounded upon that, except maybe in boxes of cereal with little free gifts, and she did something really, really, really cool. And I'm going to let Heather tell you about what she came up with. So, Heather, talk to me.
Oh, okay. Well, it's called Einhorn's Epic Cookies.
Great name, by the way.
Einhorn literally translates to mean unicorn, so we went with a whole unicorn theme, and the comic books are all about unicorns, and basically it's every cookie comes with a surprise comic book about unicorns.
Or maybe every comic book comes with a surprise cookie.
Whichever way you want to look at it.
Correct.
Oh, hold on, I'm doing a hair flip. Okay.
Actually, if you want, Heather's wedding was outside on the roof with a view of the Empire State Building. We can turn.
We're going to talk about that. Yeah, in a second. I want to talk about that because you're recently married, but I feel like we should talk about your cookies first.
So many things going on.
But you're not just throwing any cookie into a bag. First of all, was this your idea or was this Dad's idea?
This was Dad gets the credit. Dad gets all the credit. Dad gets all the credit because he was the one that said, you know, let's put these two items together. Nobody's ever done this before. An awesome comic book and an awesome cookie. So Dad gets the credit.
Thank you.
Dad, where'd you come up with the idea? Was this based on my childhood fantasy of having that crumbled, disgusting piece of gum, but it was free, and that's why I bought all the baseball cards?
Growing up in the Einhorn household, we have a tradition of sweets, and my mother was a maven on sweets. Long before anyone thought of it, she took Loft's Candies, a parlay, which was a chocolate-covered nugget with nuts, and she said, let's freeze them. if you didn't crack your tooth on the frozen parlay, you were fine. But my mother would dream up these. She would dream up these things. But we would have family gatherings with relatives coming from the city. This is in the old days when families were close by, and we would sit around eating cakes, and everyone would take slivers of cake. So my background is in cake and cookies and candy.
Not a bad background to have, by the way.
No. If I could live
That's
on...
what his resume says. It's just those bullet points.
Yeah.
Cake, candy.
Cookies.
If sweets and candies were all encompassing and all nourishing, that's all that I would eat.
But look at you, you're svelte and you're in shape. There's no way you only eat
I'm
that.
I also eat healthy things too, salads, but we won't get into that for the moment.
He's the national spokesperson for chicken Caesar salad. It's like wherever we go, it doesn't matter if it's like, like the yogurt shop. He's like, do you have chicken Caesar salad?
Why not?
Yes.
Yeah. Might as well always ask.
Good. You can do a crawl with that, which I've been doing.
Crawl.
No, the genesis of the company was about 3 years ago in the summer of 2012. Heather was in California, I was in New York, and I always loved sweets and cookies, and Heather had a background in comic books and media, and we had a conversation about, the cookies and comic books, and the basic gist of the conversation was that there are a million cookie companies and there are a million comic books out there. When I asked Heather, well, how about combining the two together? And I had presumed that there would be a lot of companies out there doing this. Heather went online and to find all these companies, and the internet, online, and
the World Wide Web.
And guess what?
None.
Not any.
Not one.
I was amazed. I said, okay, here's our vision. We have a company. We're going to marry these two themes together and have a dual track company, a media company and a cookie company.
What were you doing before this, though? What is your background?
My background is in distribution. I was in business, family business as a distributor.
Okay.
Of plastic pails and paint cans for the food trades.
Interesting.
And yes, it was a real learning experience. My previous background was academic. I was studying to be a professor. I got my master's and I passed my doctoral laurels, and this was way back when, and then the job market collapsed in the humanities and social sciences, so I wound up going into a family business. And I could go on and on. My uncle trained me in the old school. The old school was a year of tyranny, because he wanted to retire. In the year of tyranny, great guy, my uncle, by the way.
He sounds like a great guy.
A very funny guy. Quartermaster in the Navy. He traded oranges for shoes with the other ships on the open sea. We'll leave that aside. But
why? It's such an interesting story. Go on.
He is. My Uncle Jess. We'll leave him aside for the moment. But the way I was trained in business was, I made a mistake, and Uncle Jess said, that was really stupid. You are so stupid. Do you realize what you just did? And then I didn't repeat that mistake. I was late once for business when we were working together. I would open up a business. I was late one day, and it was memorably one of the most miserable days of my life. My uncle kept haranguing me. You're late. You weren't prepared. Guess what? I was never late again unless I was ill. For my whole business career, which was over 45 years.
Maybe he was onto something. He really like solidified your work ethic.
The Einhorns are all workers. My uncle was a worker. My parents were very hard workers. When I was growing up on Long Island, and this is an absolute true story, I was sunbathing. This was as a teenager. I was sunbathing on the top of our house out on Long Island, and my mother asked me, Robbie, what are you doing? And I said, Mom, I'm working on my tan. And I kid you not, she bought it. She bought it. This was the Einhorn way. Einhorns have to be working to this day, whether it's my brother, whether it's myself, whether this kid over here. We need to be working. We need to be producing.
I love it.
It was ingrained.
But you came up with some really interesting. Like a cookie's a cookie is a cookie,
Yes,
but you didn't come up with just a regular cookie. Peanut butter, bacon, and chocolate chip is 1. Chocolate chip and potato chip is 2. Oatmeal chocolate chip and maple is 3, and then birthday cake, crisped rice, and sprinkles is 4. I mean, it's a very unique and interesting flavor combination for the cookies. Was that the Einhorn way also?
The Einhorn way was always to think differently than others.
Yeah.
There was a
Unique and special, like unicorns. Is
well,
that what you were going to say?
I found in the attic of our house once that they had this biology review textbook. This was back in the 60s. I don't even know if they have them now. And it was called Reviewing Biology.
Oh, it sounds like a page turner.
Yeah, no, but it was, but the letters were so marked and filled in with pen so that reviewing biology became evil in biology, which I thought was very clever. I don't know who copied the letters and blocked them out so that reviewing became evil in, but that's thinking out of the box. You know, there's so many other ways that we did this.
Well,
and, you know,
that's a great example, and now I fully can wrap my hands and my head around how you guys do think out of the box. What are the comic books? Are they for kids? Are they for adults? Are they for girls, boys, men, women?
They're for everybody. They're for everybody. There's stuff in there for kids, and there's stuff in there for adults as well. It's kind of like The Simpsons.
Are you into comics? Were you into comics as a kid?
Yeah. I used to work for DC Comics, so that was where I got my start in the comic book business, but I've always been into comics. I actually wrote my college thesis on religious subtexts in comic books.
Stop it.
Yeah. Of which there are many. Now that I've said that, now you're going to watch these comic book movies and you're going to be like, oh, Jesus.
Oh,
and
gotcha.
it's just going to be everywhere.
Right.
And it'll be very, very obvious. Sometimes it's Moses. They can't really choose which one they want.
Yeah.
But it's either or. There's really only 2 choices.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to tell you that I don't have much experience with comics. I mean, I like the Ziggy. I like Ziggy. Right, that's sort of comic-y in the Sunday Times, in the Sunday paper.
It's like you like Garfield or.
I like the
Garfield.
I know it's not really comics, but I'm trying to tell you it's not animated, but a comic type thing that I like. So now, my point is, I don't have much experience. So would I be able to pick this up and enjoy a good read of one of these? Because I know that I would be able to pick up that cookie and enjoy it in 5 seconds.
So
that's
I
not
actually
hard.
today brought you all of the issues that are in circulation, so you can read the whole story.
Oh, it's one big story.
It's
like a soap opera.
Well, now it is. Now it is. 3 years later, it is. So now there's 11 issues, and you can follow the story of the Royal Einhorn Force, which is our team of awesome unicorn warriors.
Did you make it up?
We did.
Oh,
did.
wow.
It's all original. We made it all up. It's basically each cookie flavor is a name of a character. So you follow the story, and it's a surprise which issue you get. So today we've got the whole set for you.
Thank you.
Which is very exciting. And we have something very, very special. This is our new item.
What is it? Is it edible?
It is not. This is our new Royal Einhorn Force dog tag.
Get out of here.
Because they're
once again
awesome.
Thinking out of the box. What a great idea that people can collect these.
And
can I put this on?
Yes, you can.
I'm not kidding. I love it. I honestly love it. I'm going to wear it every day. You think I'm lying. I'm not.
Actually, during the transition, what we can do is we were doing the
Just
book
have
where
her
you-
read them.
Have her read one of the read the first episode.
Sure.
Now, the comics change. Will the cookie flavors change?
Right now, it's just these 4 flavors, but we're talking about doing new stuff and new partnerships and all kind of fun new things going forward. But for now, just these four flavors.
Can I read
that
the?
looks good.
Of course it does. It
Yeah.
looks awesome for 2
Yeah.
reasons. One, I'm wearing it, Robert.
Yeah.
And number 2, I mean, it's so pretty. Yes. Number 2 is same as number 1. I'm
You
wearing
brought
it.
dog tags for everyone on the show, or just for Jenna?
Just for Jenna. But
Thank
next
you.
time. But if you invite me back, I'll bring them for everyone.
We've had you on 16 times already. You don't think we're going to invite you back? But you bring
But
less
actually,
and less.
Faith Fisher Einhorn says that they're great guests.
Oh, good. I assume she's related.
You met Faith before.
Oh, yeah.
Heather's mom.
Yeah, she's
Robert's
probably working
wife.
on something
That's
right
the
now.
boss.
Yeah, the boss.
That's the senior
The
boss.
Hefe. The Hefe.
That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
senior boss. This is one of the junior bosses.
Okay.
You know.
Can I read through every time you come on, you actually bring less and less cookies. Like the first time you brought 8 packs, then you brought 4 packs, then you brought 2 packs. And now what's left
Now
after?
we just have one
pack.
And
of
I'll tell you.
cookies.
And I'll tell you why.
Oh, I love the why.
yeah,
I always get the what. I so
There-
rarely get the why in life, and I'm gonna listen in terms of it.
There is a reason. So this week is actually New York Comic Con. It's happening at the Javits Center, and all of our cookies are right now at the Javits Center,
That's good.
except for this one. This
Okay.
is the only one that made it out of the Javits Center.
Now listen, it brings me much joy to know that your cookies are being given out to people who are super excited about the comics and all of it.
Yep, we're going to be at booth 2379
Yeah.
at New York Comic Con.
Yeah,
at the Colorful Geek
2379.
booth, partnering with the Colorful Geek. She's fantastic. And you can get our cookies there. And we're the official cookie of New York Comic Con, as always.
Heather, you just got married.
I know.
Like recently, like a couple months ago.
I know.
How did it go?
It went awesome.
Yeah?
It went
Were
awesome.
you dressed up?
I was. Well, it was like this outfit, but like just one level better. Like only one level.
It's okay.
Were you wearing
She
a
didn't dress.
costume?
No, she was wearing a
No,
dress.
I was wearing a dress. I had a
No.
full. I had a
She's
full.
teasing.
Oh, she's
hair-
teasing me?
Yeah.
I
she's
do the I
teasing.
tease.
Oh, you
I
do the teasing?
Yeah, I tease.
Okay.
But you could tease, you could tease.
I'll do. Well, he knows. He knows I'm joking.
No, I just didn't know if there was like a comic theme to it.
We did get a little cartoon of us made that was like on our napkins. It was just it was actually us. It wasn't unicorns. It was us, which was very cute. But everything else was just classy and amazing. Thank you, Faith Fisher Einhorn. And yeah, no, it was. Oh, and thank you, Dad.
Yeah, what happened,
and
Dad?
Thank you,
Robert,
Dad.
what happened?
Thank you, Dad.
She almost hit you in the face while she was flailing about thanking her mom.
Thanks,
She almost
Mom.
like
Thanks, Mom.
I guess I'm the dog with a wallet. Okay.
Little bit.
Well,
Yes.
you're on the business, so I have to segment. You know,
Did,
Mom gets the
yes,
wedding credit.
Yes.
as an educator
Yes.
and someone who really like, I'm sure you overthink everything. You're a worker and an educator. You have this cerebral sense to you. Did you lose it? Did you cry, Dad, during the wedding? Really?
Nope. I was more concerned about Heather not falling while we were
Mm-hmm.
walking down the aisle. She, last minute advice to Heather, which I know she wasn't expecting this. We had the wedding on the roof of the space, and the walkway, because it was the roof, was uneven, and I was very concerned about falling.
Oh, you falling or her falling?
Anyone falling.
Anybody
going
falling
down
is a
there.
concern, and as well it should be.
No, so when we were walking down the aisle, I said to Heather, you gotta watch out. Look at this. Be careful. Don't
Right.
fall.
So it's
I
supposed to be
was
this
very concerned,
moment where we're standing, like we're waiting to walk down the aisle, and like this is like the father-daughter moment. Like, what's he gonna
Yes.
say? I'm sure he's been thinking about this for months. It's gonna be something very special.
Right.
And he turns to me and he leans in and he says, "The floor is
It's
uneven."
Right.
And I looked at him and I said, "What?" And then we walked down the aisle, and you could see
I
me
was
in the
coaching her.
pictures just
Yeah.
laughing as we're walking down the aisle because it's just
Great.
like
That's great, though. I love that.
This is called being pragmatic.
Okay.
It wasn't that I was very happy with the whole occasion, but I was very concerned about pitfalls.
Right.
And that was a literal pitfall was the roof.
There's always
Yeah.
one jokester at a wedding, and it's obviously Robert. It's obviously Robert.
no,
Can I ask you another question? Every wedding always has one guest who's sort of famous, or a cousin who's on TV or does something somewhere. Who is the big? I mean, obviously I wasn't there, but who is the big famed guest at your wedding?
Well, there was actually
There
a
was-
couple.
there were a couple.
We had. Do you know who Susan Feniger is?
I don't, but I don't know anybody.
So she's a celebrity chef. She has a bunch of amazing restaurants, Border Grill, a couple of other places in Los Angeles. And when I was living in Los Angeles, she basically adopted my now husband, which sounds really weird to say out loud. I feel weird saying it.
It's all right, say it.
It's odd. I feel like it's like I'm like bragging about it or something. It's like, oh, my husband is going to pick me up from the whatever. I don't know. But no, her and her partner Liz adopted us basically when we were in Los Angeles, and it was a great group of people to be adopted by because they're celebrity chefs. So every time we'd go to their house, they'd be like doing something crazy and amazing. There'd be like a photo shoot for a cookbook, and they'd be like, "Oh, we need someone to eat half of this to make it look half eaten." And so
Right here. Yeah. Awesome. right, so that was
yeah.
it. That's a really good. Oh, you had more?
Well, there's a couple. There's actually a couple of people.
Well, we have. Heather has. Well, we mentioned earlier David Einhorn, my nephew, and his whole family. My brother's son David and David's brother Danny were in. And
Celebrities.
David Einhorn is well known in the investment world. Lance would know that.
Well, come on. David almost bought the New York Mets. Is one of the top hedge fund managers. Is in the Forbes 400. He's a legend on Wall Street. Plus, he was he also he was in the World Series of Poker. He was like one of the final guys in the World Series of Poker. He's like
nice.
He's the real deal.
And he donated his earnings, which were very considerable, to the Michael J. Fox Foundation.
Okay, now let's start talking. I'm obsessed with Michael J. Fox. I too would like to donate everything I can to the Michael J. All of Lance's money to the Michael J. Fox Foundation. I would like to do. Well.
Speaking of which, David actually was the guy who underwrote a lot of the malaria work I did.
Oh wow, really cool.
And of course, Sheryl Sandberg.
Yeah. Cheryl was at your wedding?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're cousins.
Really?
They're cousins.
Was she sitting back the whole time, or did she lean in when you guys went?
The whole time, leaning in the whole time.
She was very understated.
I liked your list of celebrities, though. I liked your list. It was like Aunt Arlene was there.
Well, I could say the boss was there.
Cousin Danny was there.
I didn't want to leave Danny out just because of David and Cheryl's brother David from Texas came in, who's a pediatric neurosurgeon. We have a lot of very
awesome.
He actually brought the family tree so you could see exactly.
Thank you. And we're going to do that.
Chart as a leave behind, so you can see exactly who was at each table.
She's joking, obviously.
No, you can't be joking. I want to know it. But here's what I would like you to do. So actually, all kidding aside, it's really cool and it's really awesome. Let's break out a cookie. Let's show people that I don't just talk the talk. Like, this is actually good stuff.
But I'm hungry.
And during the break, when we break, what I would love you to do is, would you read and show people what it's like? Read one of the comics to everybody.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
We'll need multiple people though, because otherwise I'll have to do all of the voices.
Well, Robert, would you like to take a stab at it?
Sure, why? I can read too.
Okay.
So here's the cookie. It's a little melty because it's hot out, but that's okay. It'll make
it wasn't supposed to be this hot. Between Connor and then
the comic comes.
It's exciting. You open it up.
Oh, by the way, if you know anybody for Connor, we're running a
trying
date
to get
with
a date
Connor.
for
A segment called
Date with Connor.
Win a date with Connor.
Yeah.
Who are you looking for, Connor?
A female.
Well, I'm not.
That's it?
What?
Female.
A female. Oh, okay.
Standard. The bar is really low. This is really amazing.
Bar is.
It sounds like you've cast a very wide net, Connor.
Well,
it's open to 3.5 billion people, and still
no takers.
Still no success.
So it's like
Wait a second. Have you shown his face on?
A million times, Robert.
Okay.
All day,
okay.
Every day.
Well, I think most people my age are probably working right now, so I don't know if they're watching.
As opposed to us, we're like senior citizens who no longer work anymore because we're too old.
Connor's in charge of PR of the show.
I was just defending myself.
Yeah, at the expense of the show. Good job.
Anyway, you guys are awesome.
Well,
Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it. It was great getting to know Robert. Without Robert, I would have no idea who came to the wedding. So that was important.
Without Robert, there'd be no Heather.
Without Robert, there would be no Heather.
Without the boss too.
Yeah.
We have to make sure credit is equally distributed no matter what we're talking about.
We thought Faith just came in for the wedding.
We don't want anyone left out from your family.
No. That's a cardinal rule. Obviously, you want to give the boss credit for everything that works well.
Perfect. All
right.
right.
I'm gonna have you read, and
I'm gonna have some read, and we'll take a little break, and then we're gonna come back. You guys, go get it. Einhorn's Epic Cookies. I'm telling you, it's worth it. I never eat cookies, and I'm gonna have another bite. Oops, I walked right into the camera.
Sorry.
Okay, so we're just